Make the point for us, though, this sort of distinction or no distinction between a lab-grown diamond and a diamond that's mined in the quote-unquote traditional way. Is there a difference?
No. There is zero difference. Chemically, optically, structurally, it's a seed of carbon who all grows under the ground and take billions of years to get up to the surface and a lot of money and deforestation and time to extract versus putting it in a microwave. But it's a seed of carbon.
But if I take
baby at the end.
If I take one lab-grown and one mined diamond to my friend Brian's dad in Midtown, who's been doing this for 40 years, can he tell the difference between the two?
No, because there is none. There's no gemologist in the world who can see the difference between a lab and a mined diamond. Do you know, I often made a really bad analogy, but it's a little bit like IVF versus non-IVF baby. I've got 4 of them. Trust me, they're all the same.
Well said, well said.
All right.
I thought early on when they started doing lab-grown diamonds that there were limitations in size. But tell me, is that not the case? Can you do anything in terms of size, shape? You can do anything.
The more technology advance, the less any constraints we will have. But there is no limits in anything, in color, size, quality. I actually believe today that the quality of lab-grown diamond are superior, especially on the very high end of the diamond market that we are in, that we can find in the mine.
Do you make them like, I think about, what is it, the 4 C's or whatever? Like, do you just make, what's grown in the lab, are they all just the top of the tier, if you will, in terms? No. So you do make different, yeah.
That's correct. So any diamonds come from the level of money, investment, quality of the reactors we have, technology behind it. So no diamonds are the same, whether it's a mine or whether it's a lab.
So what is the technology?
So there is 2 types of technology in order to make them. So as I said earlier on, it's a seed of carbon.
Yeah.
So basically, the carbon is the strongest material in the world, right? And which you put in a reactor, and we basically replicate what happened under the ground in those reactors with 2 methods called CVD and HPHT.
So pressure.
One is the pressure intensity, one is replicated through the heat.
Okay.
And by doing that, within 4 to 6 weeks, a diamond is formed.
4 to 6 weeks. How much energy does it take?
Okay, so that's an interesting question, because the biggest challenge at the moment is, 1, the resale value, and 1, the sustainability, which are the main question. Because it's no more a secret that a diamond is a diamond, whether it comes from a lab or a mine. So now the 2 challenges in terms of education we face. Coming to energy. Obviously, it takes less energy in a reactor than under the ground. So the reality is it takes a fifth less, approximately, in a reactor than under the ground. However, it's not 100% sustainable yet. I actually don't believe it. However, it's improving every day with technology, with renewable energy, with using, so today we only use recycled gold. So everything is improving all the time. We don't use water. There's no deforestation. There's no human traffic problems. So there's no many problems that we can talk of.
I know, though, before we got going, we talked about the impact, certainly, on the economies that have depended on mining. And I guess it's safe to say that, I don't know, is that the downside of all of this,
Yeah, sub-Saharan Africa, like Botswana, for example. Jen Jabasaja was here talking to us about that just a few months ago.
Exactly. So there is that downside.
Yeah, it's correct. It's correct that the Botswana economy has relied for years and years on the mine industry. But actually, the world is evolving through technology, and I think countries need to adapt. I think we do need to help those countries. So Astrea, for example, will give a percentage of their income for giving education to kids in Africa. And I think a lot of companies should do and help anyway, in general, in the corporate world. However, the mine industry, if you look at it today, also have given a lot of the percentage of their mining result to De Beers. And I think today they are potentially buying out De Beers or a part of it. So maybe it's not a bad thing for anyone. The world needs to diversify, and the economy of each country needs to diversify.
I want to talk a little bit about what took so long technologically for us to get here, because, I mean, it was almost like I got engaged a decade ago at this point, and this wasn't even a thing. Like lab-grown diamonds were not even part of the conversation. I talked to young people today, and it's like...
For your wife-to-be, or just, were they around?
So the lab-grown diamond have been around since after the war in 1950. They were actually made
But they weren't really...
It was not prevalent.
Yeah. So out of the diamond market, lab-grown diamond was 1% of the market in 2015.
Yeah, that's...
20,
okay, fair.
Yeah, 5% of the market in 2021, 40% last year. 70% of the engagement ring of the US today are lab-grown diamond. And The Economist is expecting it to be 75% by 2030. I actually think it will go faster than that.
Yeah, so you're illustrating my point perfectly. Mm-hmm. Why was it such hockey stick growth, and why did for so many years was it under the radar?
Well, the reality is the mine industry has been dominating the industry, the diamond industry, for 100 years, and I've done an amazing exercise of marketing with De Beers. First of all, telling us that the diamond is rare. Diamonds are not rare. The reality is there is enough diamonds in the world so that 8 billion people can each have half a carat each, and you will still be having hundreds of thousands of them being hidden somewhere. So the reality is the diamond is not rare, but they've done a beautiful marketing exercise in order to promote it that way.
Why are diamonds still, though, then so expensive? Like, if so many people are choosing for engagement rings to do lab-grown diamonds.
I mean, the lab-grown diamonds that I've seen have not been expensive relative to
because what's the cost?
A mined diamond.
What's the cost differential? Like percentage?
The difference of price is the difference. I'm out.
You're good.
Oh, you're good. You're
don't
okay. So the difference of price is approximately 70% between a lab-grown diamond and a mined diamond.
70% cheap, less expensive.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Lab-grown diamonds are cheaper by 70%. First, it costs less to make them. You don't have to extract everything from the planet. You don't have to. But the real question today is actually the resale value. The biggest, I will say, problems between lab and mined diamond is they should work together. They should work together instead of fighting. Yeah. The biggest critiques that mined diamond gives to lab-grown diamond is, there is no resale value. And I always say, yes, obviously, you may have no resale value, but there is a resale value to everything. So let me give you an example.
Got about 25 seconds.
If you get 2 carats of lab-grown diamond today, you'll probably, in D color, which is the high end what we do, it probably will be $6,000. The same equivalent in mine will be $60,000. By the time you leave the shop, you've already lost $30,000.
Yeah.
So personally, even if I lose everything, I know what I want to buy.
I'm just going to take this and just show it to my husband at home.